It's Wednesday, the 25th of April 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. In Jinshin Jitsu, safety energy lock number 25 came into the universe meaning quietly regenerating. So it's my understanding that when safety energy lock number 25 is in harmony, then we quietly regenerate the body, the mind, the emotions, the spirit, in fact, the whole being. And safety energy lock number 25 in harmony also helps to bring mental alertness and a mental energy into the body. So it's really good to harmonize safety energy lock number 25 when you've got to do mental work. Children who've got to do homework, or when you've got to be doing a lot of thinking in your job, or whatever the case may be. And safety energy lock number 25 is located on the sitting bone. So when you're sitting in a chair, if you slide your hands underneath from the side of your hip until you're sitting on them, and you can actually feel those bum bones pushing on your hands, that's where safety energy lock number 25 resides. So it helps to, as I said, bring vibrancy and clarity to our thinking. It's a really good safety energy lock for children who are restless or who have got too much energy or are struggling to concentrate. If you get them to sit on their hands, not as punishment, but if you get them to sit on their hands for a couple of minutes, it actually helps to bring clarity of mind back. 25 is a 7. So 7 is about independence. 7 is about independent thinking. 7 is about clarity of your path. So 7 is a number that is associated with the road less traveled. 7s want to do their own thing. They are independent thinkers. They tend to be introverts. They tend to be loners. And they tend to want to do it their way and not necessarily the way that everyone else is saying they need to. So today we can really connect to that energy of what is your unique road to travel in this life, and how do you want to travel it, and how would you like to show up on that journey, and what would you like to discover about yourself and others on that journey, and who would you like to take along, and in fact, who have you got along with you that you don't really want there any longer? So all of those energies we are able to connect and resonate with today, because today is the 25th, and that is the energy represented by safety energy lock number 25. 7 is a water number. So today we've got 7, which is a water number, we've got 4, which is an earth number, and we've got 2, which is another water number in the root of the life map. 7 is intensely private, and 7 is sort of by nature, because 7s actually ask the big questions. Why am I here? What's it all about? What is my purpose? Is there meaning in my life? So you may find yourself asking those big questions today. If you can connect to that energy of the 7, then you may well find that you have a few answers, because the answers reside within you. We can't find answers to big questions like that if we don't create space for those answers to come. So that space requires being alone, being quiet, possibly being in nature, because nature helps us. When we're in nature, we connected to that vastness. You know, nature is so much bigger than we are. And when you can appreciate the vastness of the natural world around you, then you connect to the vastness of the spirit within you. And that is at that point that you start being able to answer the questions of, what path do I want to travel? What is the right road for me? And who do I want to take along with me on this journey? We can only do that when we create space for it. So 7 by nature wants to be alone. So you may find yourself today being conflicted if you've really got to be out and about in the world. 7s can be extremely sociable, just by the way. So, but if you've really got to be out and about in the world, but you're feeling more introspective, then you need to honor that feeling and try and create space for yourself within the day. Now, that space could be 5 minutes at your desk, just focusing on your breathing, or it could be going for a walk at lunchtime around the neighborhood and just appreciating the trees, or just breathing the air, or just feeling the sunshine on your body. You need to create little bubbles of space for yourself today if you are not able to actually just take yourself out of your everyday life, which I suppose applies to most of us. So that way you really can it helps you to resonate with that energy of safety energy lock number 25. The 4 of April helps to keep us in our integrity. Remember, it also helps to shift the boundaries. If the road that you feel you have to travel is not part of this box that you're currently living in, or the mental paradigm that you're currently living in, 4 can help you shift those boundaries so that you can start taking steps towards your unique pathway. The 2 of 2018 helps us to make sure that we nurture ourselves, that we don't that we don't criticize ourselves and that we don't start becoming self-hating because, wow, you're not on your right pathway. If you suddenly realize, actually, I don't think this is the path for me, that doesn't mean you've been on the wrong path for your whole life and you've messed up. It just means that you've come this far on this journey and now you choose to take a different route. So the 2 from 2018 helps us to be kind to ourselves and not do the criticism and the judgment because, I don't know, we think we should have been on this path quicker. If only people often say, if only I had done this 5 years ago, or if only I had left the partner 10 years ago, or if only I had done this so much earlier, then my life would be so much better. No, your life would just be different. There would be different benefits and drawbacks, but they would still be equal. So it cannot be better. It's always just different. And if you had made that decision 5 years ago, you'd be in a different place now and you'd probably be choosing a different road. So the 2 helps us to maintain that emotional integrity and keep that kindness and nurturing for ourselves so that we can extend that to others also. The hero of today is a 4. 7 and 4 is 11 and 2. Yeah, it's a 4. So the hero today is a 4. And 4, remember, is about being in integrity. 4 is about truth. 4 is about appreciating that everything serves. People with 4s in their life map, they have a very live and let live quality. As long as you don't force me to do what is important to you, that's okay. You do whatever you need to do. Because 4s can appreciate that everything serves. So 4 in the hero position helps us see the big picture of our life, how the route we've been on has gotten us to where we are, the benefits that it's conferred, the drawbacks that it's conferred, and because it allows us to see the big picture, it can make the road ahead clearer for us. It can help us to see the destination clearer. So you might not be able to see what lies exactly ahead, but it does help you see the big picture. So if you're stuck in Johannesburg, and you can only see the map of Gauteng, you can't appreciate that Cape Town or East London or Durban or Port Elizabeth or George or Knysna is even a possibility for you. Whereas when you can actually zoom out and you can see the whole map, you can go, oh my word, I don't have to stay in Gauteng if I don't want to. I can actually go to Cape Town, or I can go to Durban, or I can go to Knysna. So that's what the 4 in the hero position today, it helps us to see the big picture. So if you're finding yourself really mired in the details and you find yourself being extremely stressed because of what's going on right now in the here and now, if you can connect to, can I just sit back, take a few deep breaths, get some perspective on the big picture vision. And holding the appropriate finger, which is the middle finger today, will also help us to do that. The villain of today is the 2. Now, the 2 in the villain position makes us insensitive to the feelings of our own feelings and the feelings of others. So we might, in this journey to find our own road, in this ability to see the big picture, in the keeping our own nurture in mind, because the 2 in the villain position is there today, we might go, well, you know what, this is my road, I don't care, if you're not coming with, then I'm just going to discard you. That's not taking the feelings of someone else into consideration, right? So that's what we need to guard against today. And also, we also need to guard against being blunted to our own emotion, into trying to think it too much, into trying to analyze it too much, into trying to think too much, really, and to avoid the feeling part. So feelings matter, and 2 in the villain position today may blunt us to our feelings and the feelings of others. So we might end up being abrupt, and we might end up being too sort of, the word I'm trying to think of is not harsh, it's not coming to me. When you have no tactless, tactless, you might end up being tactless today because you're not taking the feelings of others into account. Safety energy lock number 25 is located on the middle finger. When we hold the middle finger, remember, we harmonize the liver and the gallbladder organ function energy. We also harmonize feelings of frustration and anger and resentment. Resentment to ourselves of not being on the right path, resentment of others because they don't want to be on the path with us. We help to harmonize all of that when we hold the middle finger. So hold your middle finger, get yourself into some nature if you can, create some bubbles of space for yourself today, and connect to the big picture. And remember to take the feelings of others as well as your own feelings into account in everything you do today, as much as it's possible for you to do. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.